going to another B team in the AFC, not B tier or anything, but starts literally with the letter B, and that is the Broncos. And this was kind of both of ours because we kind of were just like, what are we doing here? So,
I think we didn't know where to put them. That was the thing, is we wanted to talk Broncos, but we didn't know if they were a level 1 or level 2 in our exercise here.
Yeah. So we ended with level 1, but at the tail end of level 1. So it's like, 1.5 here. So I want you to start off the Broncos because my notes were pretty funny because I was like, I didn't even know where to start with it.
Yeah.
So, So when you look at the Denver Broncos right now, what do they have to prove just overall or just the whole thing in totality?
I want to know what they want to be because it feels like, and look, I mean, they take Bo Nix in the first round. I know you have some Bo Nix thoughts. I think that some thoughts. I feel like last year was almost just a wasted year from the start for Sean Payton in this kind of brain trust in Denver, because I don't know, man. Like, and this is not revisionist history. This is not hindsight analysis. I just never thought that, like, Sean Payton, sure, if he could come in there and save Russell Wilson, whatever that is, maybe it's a nice little feather in his cap, but I don't even think he really wanted to. I don't think he ever really cared about saving Russell Wilson, because the way that Peyton was brought in, the resources they gave up for him, the salary they gave him, the power they gave him, he just has all of the control in that scenario. Like, he's going to be the one that outlasts Russell Wilson here. That was established last year. So if it doesn't work with Russell Wilson, and I know that some of the stats were nice and all that, I couldn't care less. Like, watching that team on a week-to-week basis from an offensive standpoint, there were some sound moments on offense, but it was never really truly threatening you. Yeah, they got away with what they could, but you just could feel Sean Payton like, this is not what I want to do. This is not what I want to be doing from an offensive perspective. So I almost just don't even care about anything that happened last year with this team. I look at them this year from an offensive perspective, I still really don't know what to think. I think the offensive line actually has probably become like about a league average unit. I don't think it's I don't think it's a net negative offensive line. I don't think it's one of these like Detroit or what the Rams could be without injuries, a true identity point of the team. But I think it's fine. You look at the skill position players, it's just kind of a mess. It's a mess at receiver. I think it's a mess at tight end. It's kind of a crowded room at running back. And then you've got a rookie quarterback here that's probably going to start all 17 games. So I just think that it's a prove it moment. Like, prove what you want to be in this era of your coaching career, Sean Payton, because right now I truly have no idea.
And that rookie quarterback that might start is listed at QB3 right now, which is just camp. And it's just all that stuff. But still, not like, kind of want to see him maybe take the reins a little bit. But yeah, my main bullet point was, this is what we're doing, huh? That was really what I left it at. My receiver's note was whatever. I like Sutton. He has a role. Like, he could have a role, but not like this your main guy right now. He's fine, but like, he's not a sacrificial X. But he could be a Gallup in this. Yeah, he could be a Gallup when Gallup was healthy. Like, that's his role to me, is where it's like he's really a number 3 in your passing attack, but he's an X, if that makes sense as far as like usage.
I will say shout out to you, Nate Tice, because I was trying to find a tweet that I sent about Cortland Sutton, a couple of years ago when Sean Payton first got hired by the Broncos, and they were like, oh, he's been watching film of 2019 Michael Thomas, trying to study that role, and it got a lot of laughs. But I actually posted that side by side with one of his reception perception charts, and it was just all of his good routes were in breakers and slants and stuff like that, despite that he's a big body receiver. But one of the things that popped up when I was searching for this was you saying like, no, Cortland Sutton is a Sean Payton guy, like Sean Payton type of receiver, not Jerry Jeudy. And 365 days later, one of them's on the roster and one of them and had a good season, and one of them is not. So I think he had a good year last year.
The footwork king still, he's still up top. Like, he's still the king for some people. Like, it does a lot. Some of those highlights from college for Jeudy. No, but he likes his traditional roles, if that makes sense. Like, and so totally. Sutton's an X like that. He's a slant go. It can ISO, can win against press. That's kind of just like how it made total sense. But at this it would have been much more fun about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Before he kind of got dinged up and everything. Yeah. But well, thank you. I appreciate the little quasi shout out. We're not going to actually, we are going to hit up on some other receiver takes later in the show. So that's perfect. But the running back situation there, I just want to see McLaughlin and Estime by the end of the year. Like, I actually picture those two. Like, it's just, those make sense for me as a thunder and lightning for Sean Payton.
Are you totally out on Williams then at this point?
A little bit. Yeah. I don't think he likes him. Payton does. He's kind of he's a thumper. Sometimes can miss the hole to take some contact and everything. And I think Payton over time is like, screw that. And it's not his guy. Payton's all about his guy. So like little Jordan Humphrey's on the roster right now. Like, if you look at his staff, it's all like Jim Leonard's on the roster. It's like his line coach was a former player he had. It's like all these, it's what he does. Yeah. He identifies.
Joe Lombardi is the offensive coordinator.
Joe Lombardi. I'm sure Carmichael will be there soon.
He is. No, he is. He's on the staff as like a senior offensive assistant or something like that. Adam Troutman is the tight end one on the depth chart. Yeah, I mean, you could go down the list. There's a lot of former. I know Traquan Smith probably had a cup of coffee here at some point. Marquez Callaway was definitely on the roster last year.
Yes, he was. Yes, Callaway was on there. They had another one. Now I'm really. They had one other skill guy on there.
Brandon Johnson. Anyways, yeah.
He likes his guys. I mean, hey, if you're part of that group, part of the bubble, it's fun. I like what you said about the offensive line, because I consider them average, but a fine average, not like, I just feel like they're getting a little overrated right now. I think there's some name recognition going on with them where people are like, oh yeah, he's good, right? And it's like, not really. But again, Payton's going to thrive with the run game first. That is what he wants to do first. If floor is not very high, I don't know how high the ceiling could ever be. And I think you had this offense as number 32 when we kind of did a little bit, right? For the social. And I actually now I've really thought on it. I really like it. Rookie quarterback struggle. Even if Nick's is any type of one, even the good ones. And if I'm lower on Nick's, none of it just kind of adds up to me, even if I like some of the pieces. I love Patrick Surtain, and I love some of the guys they have in the front on their defense. But again, more question marks than like bullet points or exclamation points, I should say.
And so then let's play out that hypothetical. Let's say worst possible timeline. This is the 32nd or 28th best offense in the league. And yeah, the offensive line's decent, but it's not quite, they're certainly paying a lot of money to that offensive line. They're not living up to maybe that reputation. The receiver room is whatever. The running back room is whatever. And Bo Nix has a pretty typical, not the Zach Wilson, rookie quarterback year, but a pretty typical bad rookie quarterback year. Like, where does that leave Sean Payton 365 days from now, or at the end of the season? That's why I kind of think they're a prove it team, because like at that point, then I feel like if I'm Sean Payton, I'm thinking I came back for this. And I know that this is his creation, but you know how these guys think. This is his brain baby, but still played the leverage game with the Saints. The danger of
giving the head coach final say in player personnel, because they're so short-sighted. All of them. It's just they think about next week, not next year or 2 years from now. So that's always just a danger with it. It really is. Then you kind of see it like how even they handled the Russell contract. Like at the end, they could have how they did the dead cap, I should say. They did everything kind of last minute. It was kind of like, why don't you guys get out ahead on this? Why, they could, I don't know. There's so many Band-Aids they could have ripped earlier. And then just the wound gets bigger and bigger. It seems like every week. Oh man, that was level 1, mind you. Yeah, right. We haven't even gotten to the next level, to the next DEFCON here.
We've got a guy staring in the mirror, like staring into the abyss, and we're only on level 1.
Only on level 1. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to up the ante and get to level 2 after that.